independent because it still will remain a vassal state of the United States of America. How will leaving Europe make you independent? The big problem is the umbilical cord made of piano wire with which Britain is tied to the United States. On virtually every level, the City of London mimics Wall Street. The British Defense Ministry could pack up and just become a branch of the Pentagon. The British Foreign Office could be given small office space in the State Department. That's one way of saving money rather than privatizing things which everyone needs and wants to do. So I think we can no longer, it's beyond debate for me, this question of labor, and has been for some time. Now, obviously people say, but there's no alternative. This is true, but you can't even... Many of those who say that, I would take them more seriously if they participated in creating such an alternative. It's not going to happen overnight. And I, for the life of me, am not going to go and say that Miliband is better than Cameron. He maybe is a human being, but he certainly isn't. Certainly isn't as a politician. Jittery, unstable, scared of his own shadow, not knowing what to do because your parliamentary party is effectively dominated by Thatcherites and Blairites who have no belief whatsoever in any form of social democracy. So that is, I think, why we need to carry on this campaign. Left Unity is a very good initiative, in my opinion. We have to unite with other networks, other groups, and build something that will last, and campaign for proper, meaningful democracy. Because I'll tell you something, throughout the Cold War period, the politicians had this mantra that capitalism is good because it's freedom and it gives you democracy. Socialism is without freedom or democracy. And given the character of many of those regimes in Eastern Europe, it was difficult to argue exclusively on that point. But now we are witnessing a situation where the big question that has been raised and is being discussed in different parts of Europe is, can capitalism, can democracy survive capitalism? That's the question, because the whole way in which capitalism is organizing itself, it does not want dissent on any level. Increasingly attacks on the right to demonstrate, increasingly massive surveillance of virtually everything, increasingly denunciations of trade unions, so that this wretched labor front bench can't even stand up and say we defend the health workers fighting essentially for the National Health Service. How can you defend the National Health Service unless you're capable of defending those who work in it and work under pretty appalling conditions increasingly? And by the way, this NHS, which is going to be a political football in the general election, each party will say, we will do more for it. Effectively, as Alison Pollock and others, scholars in the field have pointed out, the last health bill effectively gives the government the right to privatize the health service. And they are doing it. So why have a fake debate? And here at least we can intervene as individuals, as citizens, and challenge them. Every single bloody member of parliament. Are you in favor of privatizing the health service? Because this is what the health bill says. And people, many, many people, young people in particular, are disgusted now with traditional politics. And they don't like people who hang on to it either, or cling on to it. And this was very noticeable, by the way, also in the Scottish campaign, where giving votes to 16-year-olds, which was denounced by many, actually worked wonderfully. Some of the most exciting people campaigning were the youth, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, feeling that they could change the world in which they lived. And that is the constituency we need in this country. It exists. It has to be mobilized. Thank you.